tree into the radiator and put a hole in it. So I took it out and put a new one in, and that's how you fixed it. About 2 minutes when there's water coming out of a hole about yay big, you know?
Yep.
And it wasn't just seeping out, it was really pouring out. I don't trust these shocks, so I'd stay back and get it locked. I'm changing the oil and the hydraulic filter and fuel filter and clean some mud out of the pan because there's a lot of mud in there. A lot of it. Isn't that cool though?
That is cool. I didn't know they did that.
2 bolts. Boom, boom. And everything in the cab's its own little thing, its own little unit, so you don't have to disconnect anything. Just races up. Ford should do that since they like to pull cabs on all their 3/4 tons. They need to make them just like that. But other than that, that's what I'm doing. And the air conditioner condenser were all broke. They all had a hole in them. So every one of them got taken out and replaced. It's easier than a car. That truck was harder to take the radiator out and put a new one in than it was in that backhoe. Like if I would have had all the parts here and in my actual job to sit here and do it, it probably would have taken a day to get it all out, cleaned up, and a day to put it all back in total. It took me 3 days of, you know what I'm saying, rain days.
Yeah.
So if I had everything sitting here, probably 2 days. That took me freaking 6 hours to get it out, a couple hours to get it in, and it's because the turbocharger has these quick connects on the radiator. Well, they say they're quick connects till they get dirt in them and they don't disconnect. And it was a pain. It was a pain. So, backhoe's easier than a Chevy 2500 to change a radiator.
Almost 2 foot top curve. It's 110.
Minimum. Well, no, it's not. It's 110.
Okay, so looking for the water line because we need to put a saddle on it to start running this line we got going on through here. And usually the water lines are a lot deeper than this. Luckily, the second wheel showed up. Our amazing cameraman Wes had just happened to kind of scooch right over the top of it. Saw it, caught it just in time, but right there, about 1.8, 1.9. It's not so deep. Back over there on that trailer, there are silver saddles that will literally clamp around it, tighten them down, and then whenever you get done pressure testing it, they'll come through with a big boring rig, put it through here, bore that pipe. I mean,
Like
before that, yeah, it's like a big drill. Before that though, we'll have a valve set on the end of this saddle. They'll bore into it, they'll take it out, we'll close the valve, they'll take it off. Once everything's tested, good to go there, then we'll connect our water pipe to it and then open up our valve.
We needed the rain, just not 5 or 6 inches in like 2 hours, especially when you're trying to deal with 16% grade, getting ready for concrete. We had this place ready to go last Tuesday, and the concrete guys' schedule didn't work quite out, and now we got to deal with this mess. It's part of it. You guys know all about it. You get halfway through a project, the rain comes through, you can prepare for it as much as possible. But this driveway you guys have been seeing, it was almost done. You guys got to see completed pictures of it. almost completed our portion, eh? Concrete's coming in, gonna tie it all together and it's gonna look beautiful. This section's got a bunch of mud. We've got some topsoil. We're gonna drain all this out. This section's also got some mud. If you guys can see where I'm standing, it's basically a bunch of silt runoff from the drive. We've got, from that basin, it kicked this way because the box needed to come up in the air. It's a lot of if this, if that, if this happened, this wouldn't have happened, if this was done, this wouldn't have been done, but we tried to prevent it. All this silt isn't sitting on top of that drainage box, and by silt I mean all this crap that washed down through here. We're gonna effectively cut this basin down to a grade. We're gonna get all this muck and crap out of this little bottom in front of his carport, which is soon to be his shop. Get all mucked, get gravel in here, get everything draining back to this point. And we have the dirt over there to do it, but this bottom really took a beating after this rain, and the gentleman can't get in and use his gear out of his shop, and I understand how frustrating that can be. Right here is about 3 foot low. It needs to be up in the air. We'll show you guys that process. That should happen this week. This box needs to come in the air. If this box was 3 or 4 foot in the air and this drive was pitched the correct angle that it needed to be so we could have concrete on it, we could then use this box as water storage, and none of the pipe that we put in over the last, well, we put it in a month ago, but basically this pipe and drainage system that we're using for this entire driveway isn't even getting used yet. So we basically sent all the water right on top of the brand new base. What else are we supposed to do? It's either put silt in the brand new pipe system or deal with some regrading issues that we're gonna have to deal with no matter what. So we chose the latter. It sucks, it's muddy, it's mucky. Just have to bite the bullet. It's so much better than trying to clean silt out of an 18-inch, 24-inch pipe. I can guarantee you that. So you guys can see up there past these white things sticking in the air. Those are extensions. Essentially, the basin will go on top of that. Like I was just telling you, this pipe system, everything on this drive drains back to the pipe system, comes down the trickle channel, hits these catch basins, and that water sinks down into the basins and uses that pipe rather than the top of the ground. That's the exact reason we did this design. That you can see that trickle channel has a V in it. You can tell that we didn't have too much crap come off the hillside or anything like that, so that was really nice and established. But I said all that to say this: you can see our base rock stayed effectively exactly where we needed it to, and we've got some runners along the trickle channel. Well, yeah, everything's draining back this way, but past this basin we still need to drain it back this way into the trickle channel. But guess what? It's not established because the box isn't raised. I know it's a bunch of what if, but I'm letting you know what we kind of run into out here. It sucks. It's part of it. All this rock right here with those fines in it, it's expensive. It gets really expensive. And when it's graded out, really nice, fine, ready to go, it's real easy to work. But when it's like this, it takes some time and redig some things. So you can see we've got a runner right next to the trickle channel. Well, of course we do. Everything's sloping towards that trickle channel, and this trickle channel has an actual lip on it of 4.5, 5 inches, okay? Well, water's gonna run up to this, bounce off of this. Thank God it didn't gut it or get underneath the trickle channel, but basically just came down and made a channel right here. Everything else stayed in place. The biggest thing is here, guys, is these runners. We've got these runners, but nothing came over the edge. It was perfect. It's exactly what the design is supposed to do. Honestly, we've moved so much earth up here. It was powdery, it was dusty. I'm glad we got a little bit of rain on it to knock it off, knock off the powder, etc., etc. Now we'll bring that dozer in, smooth everything back up. She'll be good to go. She will be good to go. I think that's about it, really. That's got us. It's gonna cost us probably 3-4 days of work. Look at my gear just sitting down here. What the heck are we doing, bud? Got an equipment yard. That 360 is fixing to go to the airport. So we're walking up. This is where it turns north. You can see this all base rock just piled up right here in this corner. That's exactly what that water flow is going to do. It's going to hit that trickle channel. It's going to hit that basin. We left those extensions high because we didn't want any sediment, no silt, no buildup in this pipe system before it goes live and just catching water. Wanted to make sure that was happening. We got a few runners in this side. One little spot on the house pad up top that's holding a little bit of water. The northeast corner, Will, by the way. That's holding a little bit of water we've got to address. Other than that, rain sucks. I know we need it. Rain just absolutely blows for a guy like me. Dirt, excavation, utilities. Oh my God, you ditch diggers. You know what it's all about. It's not the funnest, but what do? It was either dump all the sediment in our pipe and be jetting out this pipe, or we're leaving our customer with some crappy little drainage system that he just paid a redonkulous amount of money to have established for his home, so he never has to worry about this issue living on this mountain again. So it's my decision, or we got to fix some base rock. Well, we got to fix some base rock. So let's go fix some base rock.